So this is how I look at it. The demographic of Peckham has always included an art community. So that's the difference between most of what people say, or when you hear people speak about it, they almost say it as though it's a new thing that came with the development, which is not actually it, if that makes sense. What I would say is, from the beginning of time, there was always a lack of inclusion, despite how many things were here. So even though there were facilities, for the most part, we saw other people coming from wherever to use it. Kind of had the art and wished that the art would be the bigger name. It was like the second name. So if you talk about negativity, the very next thing that will go with that negativity is how diverse Peckham was, followed by the art scene. More than anything else, attacking it from an angle of these new things came in and people kind of jumped in makes nobody win. For the most part, the truth is nobody has a problem with change. It's lack of inclusion. Nobody cares what comes here, provided we're going to be a part of what comes here. What it feels like in more cases is something new comes. The people from far come here, like they're traveling far to come and enjoy it. Then after a while, they're like, you know what, we'd just rather live here. When these new institutions come, if it was to generate the kind of crowd and all of that development it's having, what happens is 50p drinks become 60p and 70p drinks. And by the time they go back home at night, it's still the people in the area that live there. I'm gonna buy this. So it directly affects them. And I think the lack of inclusion is one thing. I think the lack of communication is another thing. I think the complacency with the community is another thing. And I believe I can say that because I'm from here. And I do believe at different times, people could have been a little bit more aware and more on it in terms of holding stuff up accountable.